Dean Wright is a Democrat, a former CIA officer, and he joins us tonight. So, Brian, we're actually not that far away from the presidential election. Every member of the House, third of the Senate, lots of governors. As of right now, Russia is the most important issue, apparently, to Democratic leaders, given what they say. If they were to run on that, on the Mueller findings, what would happen, do you think?
Well, I think we're about to find out, because I think many of them, if they aren't going to, the TV networks and newspapers, and in fact the Democratic base that participates in the primary, they're going to demand the answers about it. They want to talk about it. Look, we spent $30 million over the past couple of years, turned the country upside down, and now we have this wonderful answer, which is our president is not a traitor. And so instead of being able to move forward, Democrats are focused on this sort of fool's gold, at least some of our nominees or prospective nominees are, because of this reason, of the media, of the primary voters wanting it, right? It's the catnip. But really, what's the argument now? Now that collusion is gone, what's the argument for obstruction? It's really, okay, maybe Trump wasn't a Russian traitor, but he was awful cranky for the past 2 years, and he did some naughty things. So he should have just kept his mouth shut and took it in the chin while the media tore him down, called him a traitor. Former FBI, CIA directors insisted he was a traitor and engaged in treasonous activity. That doesn't sell to independent voters. That doesn't sell to Republican voters. And it certainly doesn't sell to people like me. So if, in fact, we get this same garbage that we've gotten for the past 2 years, an inability to move on because the media won't allow it, right? They're making way too much money on this, too many clicks and advertisers, feeding this garbage, then we're going to have a serious problem in 2020, not as Democrats, but in fact as a country. Because, Tucker, we're not going to be talking about the things that most people care about. How do we reduce the cost of health care? How do we ensure that we have a thoughtful immigration policy that stops these thousands of folks coming over? I mean, that's the stuff that most of us want to talk about, right? And as a part of that, we can say, look, Trump has done some great things. Democrats should acknowledge that. Let's talk about China, holding them to account, or NATO, holding them to account. But is Trump fundamentally the kind of leader we need? Right? So we can come to agreement or disagreement on that. But that's, I think, the kind of conversation this country wants to have, not more of this collusion stuff, well, it's there even though Mueller didn't find it, or, hey, actually obstruction is really important even though there's no underlying crime, even though it's a hoax, right?
It doesn't improve a single life. It doesn't make a single American happier, more prosperous, or safer. It's bizarre. Brian, great to see you tonight. Thank you for that.